Hello, my name is Dean Contover. This is The Current Buzz. Today we have Sara Bogosian. She's the president and the executive president of the Whistler Museum in Lowell, Massachusetts, right?
Right, Whistler House Museum of Art.
Pardon me?
Whistler House Museum of Art.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You've been president for the last 10 years, is that correct?
Right, well, I've been on the board for, goodness, over 25 years.
Okay.
And then I became vice president, then president, and then I was asked to take over 10 years ago.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about the Whistler House Museum of Art. Who is Whistler? Why the museum in downtown Lowell?
Sure. Well, that's why we're famous. We are the birthplace of the famous American artist James McNeill Whistler. He was one of the foremost American artists in the world and is presently still extremely popular throughout internationally. And he was born in the house, on the second floor of the house in 1834. The historic house was built in 1823 and was the home of all of the engineers that started the Industrial Revolution in the city of Lowell, in America. So it's a pretty significant home. In 1907, the house was going to be demolished by the city of Lowell, and the Lowell Art Association started in 1878, one of the oldest in the country, saved the house and reopened it, and eventually it became a museum.
Okay. And you said internationally, so do you get people from all over the world coming?
All over the world. It's amazing to me. Whistler is very, very sought after, very studied. There's consortiums throughout the world that study Whistler that we're a part of. There's the Whistler Society in London, which we are also a part of. The Center for Whistler Studies in the world is in Glasgow University in Scotland, and we have very good relationships with them. But every year, annually, we get people from all over the world, from France, from England, from Spain, China, you name it.
Except from Greater Lowell.
No, well, no. We do get people from Greater Lowell, but there's a lot of people in Lowell or the Merrimack Valley that still don't know about us, which is amazing. Or they know about us, but they've never actually come to visit. But we are expanding, the number of visitors. And
good.
COVID set that back a bit, but no, I mean, we're growing and growing, which is a wonderful thing,
So when people from the internationally, do they call you up and set up a date that they're going to come, or how is that done?
Sometimes, but most often they look at our website, which is www.whistlerhouse.org, and they just check to see our hours. We try to keep it updated daily. So they check the hours and they come in. We're always surprised when we get visitors that we're not aware are coming or that are from faraway places.
No kidding.
South America too. I mean, it's amazing, yeah.
No kidding.
Amazing.
Now, do they stay in Lowell, or do they just come for a day and leave, or?
Sometimes they stay in Lowell. Sometimes, they want to go see the national park.
Okay.
That's a big draw. So the visitors we get like that then come and see the Whistler House Museum of Art. They go to the New England Quilt Museum. And, there's Western Ave Studios, there's the Brush Galleries. Lowell has become a big artist community, so we cater to a lot of those types of people that are interested in that, but also in the Industrial Revolution, where Lowell was a big part of.
Now, you said Lowell's Art Museum is one of the oldest in the country. Art Association,
Right.
is one of the oldest in the country.
Right, so a lot of artists, a lot of businessmen, a lot of groups from, the higher echelon of Lowell, a lot of the factory owners who were well-heeled, also loved to paint. So one of the key people decided we should start an art organization. And that's exactly what was done in 1878. And it was supported for many, many years. And they held meetings throughout the city. But in 1907, as I said earlier, the house was up for being demolished, and the Lowell Art Association raised the funds, came in, redecorated the entire house, and had a huge exhibition of artists in the house from all over the Merrimack Valley, Boston. The governor came to the opening. I mean, it was a big social event. So it's always been very social and educational.
Let's talk about the famous painting, Whistler's Mother.
Right.
Pontificate on that.
Right. So we are fortunate. So Whistler's Mother is extremely famous throughout the world. It's called Arrangement in Gray and Black. And it is basically a painting of Whistler's Mother. It's one of the most famous paintings in the world, right up there along with, it has transcended the art world. It's right up there with the Mona Lisa, American Gothic, the Scream, and you see it in very many places on, and used a lot too. The image is used a lot, and it's they make caricatures of it. And so we are fortunate enough. The original is in Paris, France, at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, France. We have an original recreation, an original copy done by his cousin, Edith Fairfax Davenport. And it's the same size, same shape, same frame. And we were fortunate enough to have it donated to us by Edith Fairfax Davenport. It's the only other image that is the same of Whistler's Mother in the world. So we're very lucky to have it, and that draws a lot of people. And
this is my suggestion, that you have a news release requesting Whistler's Mother be returned to the United States, and specifically the Whistler's Museum of Art.
Right.
And create a buzz. Just to get people going.
Exactly.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's a great idea. We've thought of it actually. With a painting such as that one, which has traveled quite extensively throughout the world, I've seen it in 4 other locations. You know, it came to the MFA, Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. It came to the Clark University, the museum there. Not Clark University, I'm sorry, Clark Museum in Western Massachusetts. It's come to the Chicago Institute. It's traveled quite extensively. So what do you need when you have a painting of this fame and fortune? You need an exhibition space that is not only secured, but that's climate controlled. And we do have that. We have a facility that is secured and climate controlled, but we need to still bring it to a different level in order to bring a painting such as that. We have paintings all over the world that come to the museum, and quilts and sculpture, but that's quite, that's worth millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so, but I think it's a great idea. And once we build a new building, we're trying to build a new arts center where the Parker Gallery is right now. When we do that, then we'll be able to bring anything in. So
where is the Parker Gallery?
So the house is at 243 Worthen Street in Lowell. We're in the Acre, and we're a big, beautiful gray house. It's going to be 200 years old. It's circa 1825. They started building the house in 1823. The residents moved in 1824. So we're going to have a big international 200-year celebration. We're going to work with the university, the city, and all the famous academics, Whistler academics all over the world. So that will be taking place in 2025.
Oh, okay.
So, because that's when the house will be 200 years old.
Well, won't that be the anniversary of the United States? It's 250th or something like that?
Yes, and the city of Lowell became a city officially in 1825, so there's going to be a lot happening that year.
Oh, wow, that's
in
good
Lowell
to know.
Throughout the country. But you asked me where the Parker Gallery is situated. So the house is at 243 Worthen. We have a historic Whistler Park adjacent to the house, which is open to the public all the time.
Right.
And then we have the Parker Gallery behind the historic house. It was built in 1960. And, it's served its purpose. It's been a wonderful space. We still have all of our contemporary exhibitions there. We have all of our social events. We have book signings, lectures, dances. We have everything in that little space. But because we've grown so much and our community has grown, we want to be able to serve the community better. So we want to build a new art center. And we've hired an architect by the name of Toshiko Mori, who is internationally known,
Wow.
who is working with us in the design
Wow.
of this new building.
So
The thing that's happened is that COVID set us back a bit. We're
it's
still moving forward, but the cost of product and the availability of product has been tougher. So we're taking it slower, but we're still trying to raise the extra funds needed, and yeah, everything's just gotten so expensive. But we do plan to have a new art center within the next few weeks.
you could use, or people could rent the space in regards to the Parker for weddings, or the house for weddings, for the backyard for receptions,
Right.
that type of thing. Explain.
Right. So in order to continue with an organization of this type, we're a nonprofit, we need to raise monies, right? So
Right.
we have big events. We have big social events, a Christmas party. We have events honoring certain people. And it's always a fun celebration for us. We also have to write a lot of grants in order to raise monies, and we have fundraisers just throughout the year, like an annual appeal. But we also rent the facility, and the facility is quite extensive. We went back 5 years ago from 7 rooms in the historic house to doing complete restorations of all 14 rooms in the historic house. So now we've got more space open to people. People are amazed at what they see because we've got all these 19th and 20th century paintings in the historic house. So they rent the historic house, they can rent the park, which is a beautiful park open to the public 24/7 basically. And then we have the Parker Gallery, where we have events. We have a piano in there, so we have musical events, all different concerts, book signings, as I said earlier, birthday parties, business meetings. It's a great way for us to, raise funds as well, and to make the house more a part of the community.
The big event is the Whistler Holiday Party, and that is a big event in Lowell. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's
And-
the biggest Christmas party, holiday party, Christmas party, holiday party throughout the year. And that actually is a painting that was done by one of our former artists in residence, Dave Drynan. And that's a picture of what the house would have looked like when there was a Christmas party back in the day, back in
Right.
back at the turn of the last century.
Right.
But it's one of our biggest fundraisers. We have a live and silent auction, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
a
definitely.
lot of the artists in the community donate works of art for the live auction and for the silent auction. And then people donate different things like dinners out, a stay at a hotel. Recently, we also had a package for a weekend in Vermont, Grafton, Vermont. And so it brings a lot of people. It's a lot of fun. And there's drinks, and we always have really good food.
It's open bar, is that correct?
It's open bar,
So
yes, yeah.
Make sure you have a chauffeur in your home.
Yes, yeah. We try to be careful. We
Yeah.
make sure we keep track of everyone. But yeah, it's a good time. Last year, though, I will say we had a huge celebration. It only comes up when we see that there's someone that needs honoring. And it's called the James McNeill Whistler Distinguished Art Award. And it's been given to Miko Kaufman, the famous
Right.
international sculptor.
Now, there's a statue outside in the yard.
Right. There's a
Whistler.
statue outside done by Miko Kaufman. It's been given to the U.S. Ambassador to Spain in Madrid, James Costos.
Right.
And the most recent recipient last year in June, on her 92nd birthday, we tried to do it the 90th birthday, but because of COVID, we had to postpone it. And it was a huge celebration honoring the wonderful community activist and supporter, Nancy Donahue.
Right. Her family has always been involved.
Very involved. She's the chairwoman of our board.
I see.
And when her husband, Richard, was alive, he also was a co-chair to the organization. They're actually the ones that called me one day and said, please come and meet with us, and said, would you please take over the museum? How do you say no to
I know.
the Donahues?
I know.
So it's been a wonderful experience for me. It's changed my life, and I really do love working with the artists and the community and people like you. It's just so much fun to meet everyone and work with them.
You also have an in-house artist every year, or is it picked every year, or? every 2 years, every 3
No,
years?
I mean, that's ranged. Over the years, the amount of time has changed. Right now, we have a wonderful girl, Magdalene Strathos. She was a former student at UMass Lowell. She studied in Florence twice. She's quite talented.
Wow.
She's our artist in residence. And what that means is that we take these young artists, or we take these artists, and we groom them and help them to improve their art. So we give them the Artist in Residence studio, which is probably one of the nicest studios from Boston to Lowell. I mean, it's a gorgeous space, and they get to work up there, and
I'm sure it's well lit,
working
right?
there. Oh, it's got north light, which is what artists really want, you know. So it's a beautiful studio.
Do we have any nudes up there in regards to paintings? Or?
Well, we have a nude sculpture there, but we also have a room of nudes, which in the art world is not considered anything bad.
No, it's common.
Yeah, no, it's very artistic. The female form is beautiful. So, you know, artists over the years have always painted the female form. We do have a room that has several nudes in it, two painted by Aldro Hibbett, a very, very well-known New England artist who started the Rockport Art Association, and we have a Paxton nude as well. And it's really, yeah, we do have some beautiful works of art.
So you want more membership, is that it?
Well, yes, and we'd love more volunteers. We have a wonderful group of volunteers. Every organization always wants more membership,
Right.
Sure. And we have benefits to the membership. We love bringing new people in and having them see all the wonderful things that we do. And as I said, we have a wonderful group of volunteers now. They become like family, you know. They're certainly part of my family, and they get along and go out to dinner on their own, and then they come in and work together. Yesterday, I had a group come in where they professionally, we've taught them how to clean the works of art that we have, because we have an extensive, you've been there, Dean, you've seen all the paintings we have.
Yeah.
And
clean them. Who isn't there a specialist, I mean, that you would call in?
we trained these people to dust them, not clean them.
Okay, dust.
It's basically dusting, but still you have to do it with a specific brush and a specific tool. And so we've taught them, and they've done a wonderful job, but it's just dusting. Oh no, any kind of cleaning, no.
Oh, okay.
We have Peter Kostelakis for that. He's been our longtime art restorer.
I haven't seen him in a while. Is he still local?
Yeah, he's doing great. He's cut back on some of the restoration work, but he's the best around, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sarah, we're almost done. Anything that you want to talk about that I missed in regards to membership or educational programs that you have? Do you have
Yes.
students come in from Chelmsford to visit the museum?
Yes, we have many students that come in, groups of students. We also have what we've been running for 10 years, which was a Boston Globe acclaimed youth summer art program. It's 4 weeks of study in art, various art forms. First week is drawing, second week is painting, third week is sculpture, fourth week is printmaking and collage. And we have children coming from all over the Merrimack Valley, Lowell, Chelmsford, of course. Oh, yeah.
So their parents drop them off?
They drop them off. It's from 9 to 12 for a 4-week period in July. And this year it's starting the second week of July. And the best thing to do is to go to our website, www.whistlerhouse.org, and check to see. We always have all of our information on our website, and we update it almost every day.
That's
but
good.
the program also offers classes to low-income and middle-income students
good to
in the
know.
community. I mean, there is a fee for a lot of students, but there are students that could never, ever afford this kind of program. This program is taught by artists in the community, and a lot of them have masters in fine arts and are very, very knowledgeable and very talented, and they're the ones that teach the classes. And we're all Corey certified, so. But we have programs throughout the year, many, many lectures, and for instance, in a couple weeks, on Thursday, April 13th, we have Professor Carl Smith, who started an organization called Save Venice. He's written a book, and this organization goes to Venice and saves all the artwork and all the historic buildings in Venice. He's quite interesting.
I knew that.
So anybody can come to these seminars and these lectures and book signings.
I remember him, that book was going to come out, so it's come out.
Right, it's come out.
All right.
Right, so you should interview him as well.
Yeah,
but then that Saturday, the 15th, we have one of our exhibitions that has been up for a couple of months. It's called Out of the Vault. It's the beautiful additional works of art from our collection. We have a vast collection. A lot of them are in the house, up, and you can see them always, but we also have some in storage. So these were pulled out of storage, and our closing reception is on April 15th from 1 to 3 o'clock. Everyone's welcome again. We have so many.
We have wine there?
Oh, always. Wine, beer, food,
Mingling.
you know. Because of my background, you know, I love food and serving food, and so we always do it up big when it comes to our snacks and our dinners.
I like to say there was a U.S. postal stamp that came out in 1934 regards to Whistler. There should be a new one, and I'm going to tell you the amount of the stamp. The stamp was 3 cents in 1934. So it's now, what, 60 cents, something like that?
Right.
So, but what I like about the stamp, it says, on the stamp it says, in memory and in honor of the mothers of America. I thought that was great.
That is great. That is great.
know.
I think the thing about Whistler's mother, that particular painting, is that we all have a mother, right? Some of us are
Yes.
mothers. And so everyone can identify with it. Even little kids. We had a program just a couple of weeks ago with the National Park, and we brought in these little children, and I had a 4-year-old, and we sat them in front of, along with, you know, many up to 14 years old, but we sat them in front of Whistler's mother, and we had them recreate Whistler's mother, and we had the image framed, and they took it home. So,
Wow.
you know, it teaches them about art. It teaches
Yeah.
them how to draw and paint, and
Yeah.
so it was fun, yeah.
It's really a nice place. If you want to go to the party of the year, go to the Whistler Museum party, Christmas party. It's usually the first weekend in December. Usually.
Exactly. Well, it's usually like a Friday night.
Yeah, Friday
the first
night.
weekend, yeah,
everything.
exactly.
And you'll have a hoot of a time. And believe me, you could get baseball bats, footballs, whatever people donate to the auction.
Big
And
baskets,
you could make
like
a
wine
steal.
baskets.
You could make a steal in some of these paintings.
Right, right.
Am I correct?
Yeah, and they're beautiful,
And
beautiful
they're
paintings.
beautiful
We're so
paintings.
fortunate to have that support from the artist
Right.
community.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do would be go on to our website, again, www.whistlerhouse.org. Find out of our activities. See if you want to become a member. We can send a brochure out to you if you'd like. But find out about our activities, and everyone is basically welcome to come, you know.
Yeah, or they could call.
And they can call, yeah. The phone number is, you know.
There's always somebody there to answer the phone.
Oh, right. Oh, 978-452-7641.
What's the number, 978?
978-452-7641.
Okay, they can look it up too.
Of course.
So, is there a summer prelude too? Is there a summer party?
We usually have a party. Last year was Nancy Donahue
yeah.
party. This year we're going to do something casual in the park. It hasn't been announced as to the date
okay.
yet, so it will probably be during the summer or the summer or in September. And then we do have a new exhibition that will be opening in June. And that's with the Boston Guild of Artists. That's a very impressive
Wow.
group with
Can
Paul
you buy
Ingerson.
paintings from? Yes. Okay.
All the time. We also have a small works wall when you walk into the Parker Gallery. The paintings are from $50 to $500. They're smaller works, and they make great gifts for anything, birthdays, showers, wedding gifts, you know, so.
Sarah, I want to thank you for coming.
It's been a while.
Yeah.